It was a quiet Monday night, just past 9 p.m. The rain wasn't much, just a light drizzle that painted the world in a soft, glossy sheen, but it felt like the kind of night that should have been peaceful. Danielle Brooks had just finished a grueling 12-hour shift at Riverhill General. She was tired, bone-deep tired, but it was the kind of exhaustion that didn't stop her from being a mom. So, after grabbing a quick bite to eat, she hopped into her silver Honda Accord and drove down Highway 83, heading home to her son, Jalen. The gas station off the highway was the kind of place that you wouldn't even think twice about. It was dimly lit, with a buzzing light above, casting everything in a washed-out yellow glow. No other cars around, just the soft hum of the machines and the occasional flicker of lights. She parked by Pump 6, just a few feet away from a police cruiser that was idling near the air machine. A quick stop for water, and then she'd be on her way. Jalen, 10 years old, sat in the back seat with his tablet, doing his spelling homework. He wore a gray hoodie and a disposable mask, not because he was afraid, but because his asthma had made cold nights tricky. Danielle gave him a quick smile. 2 minutes, baby. You good back there? She asked, tapping the window lightly. Jalen gave her a thumbs up and went back to his work. She took a deep breath and stepped out of the car, the cool air brushing against her skin. Her navy blue scrubs still damp from earlier in the day, her face tired but steady. This was just another night in the routine, just another stop at a gas station. She wasn't expecting anything unusual. But then she saw them. 2 officers were getting out of their cruiser, Brent Holloway and Marcus Doyle. They weren't in any hurry, walking slowly, like they had all the time in the world. She could feel their eyes on her the moment she stepped out of the car. Holloway, with his sunburned neck and thick jaw, didn't even greet her before he asked, "You own this car, ma'am?" Danielle stayed calm. "Yes, sir. Bought it last month. Plates are up to date," she replied, her voice level but not submissive. She reached into her pocket to grab her registration. Holloway barely looked at it. He just kept staring at her, and then he muttered something to Doyle. "Late model Accord. Custom rim scrubs. You think that's hers?" he asked, his voice dripping with condescension. Danielle had heard that tone before. She wasn't naive. She knew exactly what it meant. "Is everything okay, officers?" Danielle asked, trying to keep her voice steady, but inside, something was starting to churn. This wasn't right. Doyle, the younger officer, circled the car, pretending to check the plate. He didn't say much, just kept his eyes on her, as if studying her every move. "We got a report on a car matching this description," Holloway said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Just doing our job." Danielle handed over her documents without hesitation, but she could feel a tension building. They weren't just doing their job. This was something else. Inside the car, Jalen had stopped doing his homework. He was watching them through the window now, sensing something wasn't right. His mom's shoulders were tense. Her movements were slower. She wasn't acting like herself. He grabbed his phone and sent a message to his Uncle Terrence, his mother's brother. "Mom's in trouble. 2 cops. Gas station HY 83. Come now." He hit send, then slid his phone under his hoodie, his hands trembling slightly as he began recording, capturing every word, every movement. Danielle's heart was pounding now. The way Holloway stepped closer, like he was sizing her up, made her feel like she couldn't breathe. He was close enough that she could smell the stale coffee on his breath. "You got anything in that car we need to know about?" he asked, his eyes now scanning her car, everything except her face. Danielle took a deep breath. "My son. That's all that's in the car." Her voice stayed steady, but something inside her was telling her this wasn't just a routine stop anymore. Doyle, still circling the car, suddenly leaned in close to the window, peering inside. 10 years old. "Doing homework?" he asked loudly, as if trying to provoke something. Danielle didn't answer. Her body was stiff with the kind of tension you feel when you're not sure if you're about to be hurt, but you can feel it coming. "I'd appreciate it if you didn't scare him," she said, her voice cold but firm. Then, something caught her eye, the sign taped to the door of the gas station. It read, "Security cameras temporarily out of order." Her gut dropped. The timing couldn't be worse. No backup. No witnesses. Holloway seemed to sense it too. He grinned, a cold, calculating smile that made her stomach churn. Well, he said, his voice low. "Guess it's just us here tonight." Her heart raced. This wasn't going to end well. Danielle could feel the tension in the air. It wasn't just the rain or the dark. It was something worse. Something heavier. The officers had stopped pretending. Holloway's smile disappeared, replaced with a coldness that sent a shiver down her spine. "You getting smart with me, nurse lady?" he sneered, taking a step closer, his voice low and menacing. "No, sir. I'm talking to you like a citizen," Danielle said, her voice steady, but the anger was starting to rise inside her. She bent down to grab the documents from the wet pavement where Holloway had tossed them, and that's when it happened. Before she could even stand up, Holloway lunged forward and slapped her phone from her hand. The device skidded across the concrete, landing near the rear tire of the car. "You don't make calls when we're talking to you," he growled. Danielle, furious now, stepped forward. "That's my personal property." Before she could do anything, Holloway shoved her back against the car, his hand coming down hard on her shoulder. She staggered but caught herself. Doyle moved in from the other side, grabbing her wrist and twisting her arm up behind her. "Stop resisting," he barked. Danielle gasped, pain shooting through her arm. "Let me go? My son is watching," she shouted, struggling to free herself. Inside the car, Jalen's breathing had started to change. He could feel the air growing thinner. The fear inside the car was suffocating, and he knew it. He lifted his inhaler to his mouth, but his hands were trembling too much to press it. "Mom," he gasped, barely able to whisper. Danielle's heart broke when she heard him. "He's having an asthma attack. He needs his inhaler," she shouted, trying to break free from Doyle's grip. But it was too late. Holloway yanked open the rear door, reached in, and slapped the inhaler out of Jalen's hands. "Ain't no kid going to fake an episode just 'cause his mama is in cuffs," he spat. Jalen cried out, struggling to breathe, and Danielle broke free from Doyle's grip for just a second. She lunged toward the back seat, grabbed the inhaler from the floor, and shoved it into her son's trembling hands. "Baby, press down. Press it now," she urged. Doyle grabbed her again, pulling her back. "That's it. That's resisting," he snarled. "You just earned yourself a real charge." Jalen screamed, his voice raw with pain. "You're hurting her," he shouted, his chest tightening. Just then, something changed. The sound of tires screeching. The headlights of a black SUV cutting through the drizzle. The car came to a hard stop just yards away from Danielle and Jalen. The officers froze, instinctively reaching for their belts. The door opened, and then a tall man stepped out. He had broad shoulders, a clean-shaven face, and a presence that made everyone stand straighter. It was Terrence Brooks, Danielle's brother. "Remove your hands from my sister right now," he said, his voice low but clear enough to send a chill down the officers' spines. Holloway and Doyle hesitated. They didn't move right away, unsure how to handle someone like Terrence. Terrence didn't raise his voice. He didn't have to. His authority was enough. And then, the cavalry arrived. 2 marked patrol units rolled in, lights spinning silently, doors opening with clipped urgency. Holloway and Doyle were immediately relieved of their weapons and placed under administrative custody. "Not above protocol," the sergeant said firmly. The officers were stunned, furious, but they couldn't do a thing. Terrence helped Danielle to her feet, and the paramedics rushed to attend to Jalen. "Are you okay, baby?" Danielle whispered, her voice breaking. Jalen nodded, though he was still shaken, his face pale but steady. "It's okay, baby. You saved your mama tonight," Terrence said gently, brushing a hand over Jalen's forehead. The next few days were a blur: court hearings, press conferences, and public outrage. But it wasn't just the officers who were held accountable. It was the system. The city passed the Jalen Carter Act, requiring body cameras for all police officers during traffic stops. Danielle became a lead advisor for the new oversight board. It wasn't enough, but it was a start. And Jalen? He went back to school. A little quieter, a little taller, a little wiser. Because sometimes, the world doesn't change all at once. It changes one story at a time. And that's where you come in. What do you think? Do you believe justice was served? Do you think this city has truly changed? Drop a comment below. Let us know your thoughts, share your experiences. Because sometimes, just sometimes, change happens when we don't stay silent. Thanks for watching.